Hello again, everyone. Todd Michael Putnam from Creative Adventure Tables bringing you another adventure table idea, and this is the Bloodmaul Slag Mines. The Slag Mines. That's a tongue twister. So this is an adventure I'm going to be running in my Shadow Dark campaign, which is totally inspired by a dungeon, an instance dungeon in Worlds of Warcraft from the Warlords of Draenor expansion back a few years. And it's all filled with ogres. And in my campaign, the players received some intel that there was a mound of ogres that the keep that they were staying at. The captain of the guard there said they were going to pay them handsomely if they would clear them out, because these ogres apparently have been taking slaves, from caravans of people bringing supplies to the keep, and so they hired the players to go and basically clear out the ogre mound. And I decided that as a great ogre mound, I would use the Bloodmaul Slag Mines from World of Warcraft and see if I could recreate it as best as I can. It's definitely not a one-to-one scale recreation. I don't have the table space for that, but all the major highlights of it. And so the players will start off here, and if you're familiar with the Bloodmaul Slag Mines at all, you know that there's a bridge that goes across. There's normally like 5 or 6 ogres that are up there. The players will come in through here. They come in through the entrance. But for purposes of gameplay, it takes a lot longer to kill stuff in a tabletop role-playing game than it does in World of Warcraft. You could run through the entire dungeon in World of Warcraft in like 20 minutes with a normal group, and with like 4 minutes if you've got a good twink going on there. But obviously, everybody rolling the dice and whatnot in a tabletop game like Dungeons and Dragons or Shadow Dark, Pathfinder, anything like that, combat takes a lot longer. So you want to strip down the monsters quite a bit. So instead of 5 or 6 of them, I've got one of the ogres here. This is an actual official World of Warcraft mini ogre, though, to make it somewhat realistic. So they'll have that first ogre who's a guard there that they have to take care of. And then there's stairs that lead down, as you can see here. And normally this side of the path is open and leads to this section. But for purposes of gameplay, I decided to have this section of the tunnel collapsed. You can see a couple of slaves that are there that the players can free, the first ones, and they can basically tell the players thank the players for freeing them, of course, and then give them some intel about some of the monsters coming up. And that the first guy they have to watch out for is Crushtoe, who is the slave watcher himself. And he's down at the end of this hallway. So the players will go through here. There's a number of little doors, some larger, some smaller. Those are in the actual dungeon itself in World of Warcraft, but obviously, again, not one-to-one. But the larger room doors I made and put ogre-type sized furniture in it, and the smaller ones, you'll see in just a minute, are all where the slaves are kept. But you head down this hallway here, and you go and you find Crushtoe. And Crushtoe has 2 guards normally. Normally there's a bunch of ogres here through the passageway too, but again, for purposes of tabletop role-playing, cut some of that out. So here's Crushtoe here that I've got in the corner, and then in the game he always calls 2 guards to come support him. I'm calling them Slasher and Crusher are going to come out, and there'll of course be a big battle right here. And once they do battle and defeat these guys, then they can open up these slave cage doors and free some of the slaves that are inside of them, and exit the room and head in this direction down this hallway. Another long hallway that's got doors and stuff in each side. There's some slaves they can free. There's on this particular side here there's a doorway to getting into one of the ogre's rooms. They can examine in there. They go ahead and they follow this hallway all the way down, and it comes, and then there's that fire lights up. I forgot to light it up for this. There's a big bonfire that's in there, and then at the end of that, there is, I'm trying to remember what his name is. Oh yes, Forge Master Gagda. Forge Master Gagda, which is this guy right here. And he also has 2 allies to help him. He summons Calamity, which is this big fire elemental, and Ruination, which is basically an earth elemental. And the players are fighting him in front of his forge. So there's a big combat there, and they hopefully defeat him. And then they head down this hallway, and they come to a section. This is not actually a boss, but there's a big boar called Nasher that's being held in place by a bunch of ogres, presumably either taming it or about to eat it or something. So I've got some 3 ogres and a big old Nasher there for the players to fight. There is a mini boss that I'm skipping. There's Slagna, who's like a big fireworm elemental or whatever it is. I really didn't have room on the board for it. It just wasn't really the space to do it, nor would there be time to run that one. So that one I did skip. Then they head down this hallway here, and they come to a bridge where there's another boss. Roll Tall is there, and he like has a wind thing that he does, and he shoots balls of flame that go rolling across the bridge that the players have to dodge. And there's this big wall of flames that's behind him, and that doesn't go down until Roll Tall is destroyed. So, and in the game, Roll Tall is basically being forced. He's like a magma elemental. He's earth and stone, and so I'm basically in the game. I'm going to play it off that he was being forced to work there because his children, Calamity and Ruination, have been enslaved. And of course, since the players killed both of them, he will smell the blood of his children on the players, and or the characters, I should say. And so he's going to not want to give up the ghost. He's gonna fight till the end, for sure. Once he's destroyed, they finally get to the last chamber, where there's Gugrock, who is the final boss. That's this guy here. He's got big banners that are hanging from the ceiling, and all surrounding him is a whole bunch of magma pits. And then he's got some spellcasters that are around him. He's got a lot more than this normally, but I just went with two actual spellcasters, again, for gameplay purposes. And of course, there's a big old treasure chest for when the players finally defeat him, that they can gain their just rewards for clearing out the Bloodmaul Slag Mines. So that's it. That's the best I could do as far as recreating this. Obviously, there's some things that I changed. This would be oriented the other way. It would actually be rotated this way here. But there just wasn't room on the table to do it exactly 1-to-1 scale. So I did the best accommodations that I could. It's fairly close. As far as what this is all made out of, this is 99% Dwarven Forge, I guess 95% Dwarven Forge, something like that. And then all of your tiles that you see here are all Dwarven Forge. And the only thing that's not really Dwarven Forge are these rocks right here, which are for Monster Fight Club. And these are just basically black-gray rocks that I have in the area where all the magma is coming from, basically, so the source of it. So I wanted to give a volcanic type feel to the final boss room, so I put that there. But the whole entire dungeon basically is about fire and stone, fire and rock. That's basically what the entire dungeon is about. That's the theme of it, obviously filled with ogres. So I thought, what a perfect opportunity to try and see if I could do that. We will be playing this next weekend. So I'm excited to have pictures and stuff and show you guys how it all turned out. Let me know what you think. If you played World of Warcraft and did the old Warlords of Draenor dungeons, the Bloodmaul Slag Mines or anything, let me know what you think, how close I got. Appreciate all your comments. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next adventure. Take care. Bye.